Hello Gemini, thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. We're going to do relationship first, and then single second. Oracle cards come out as necessary. Okay. Gemini. How many of these do we want to pull out? We got face down cards, which isn't bad. It's just usually an unknown element until it happens. So let's see what's going on here. Now Gemini, on your side, I got the Ace of Swords, which is, and this deck has a lot of fire energy with it, clearly. Clearly, it's all over the place. I tend to see swords as air. But, that being said, which I've said that a few times, there's something here that's been a burning situation that you wanted to do something different. I feel like you pushed something forward and you started something. The question is, I feel like this is something you've started. This seems to be starting the whole situation and what's going on here. You've started something and you very much like it. Something is new here. I feel like the communication is there clearly, but like whatever it is you're a part of, like I feel like you're a part of something. You started something and you very much like it. You're very happy with it. It takes your time from your partner. Your partner has the Three of Swords. I'm thinking it takes enough time from your partner where they're feeling like maybe this is a problem. I feel like you're not around them as much as they'd like you to be. And there's some concern with that. They're feeling the heartbreak. Three of Swords is heartbreak, usually. Whatever you're starting, they're feeling heartbreak over it. They're feeling like you're not around, and they don't like that. And especially, I feel like, especially the more I look at this card, I'm feeling like they're kind of having this, like, you know, this could kill us. I feel like they're really, like, this is a heart hit for them. However, whatever you're doing, it's taking you away from them enough to where they think this could really damage the relationship. I feel like they're very dramatic about it. I'm getting a very dramatic feel with this card. Like, they really feel like this is a big deal. The thing is, you have a lot of passion for what you're getting involved with, whatever it is. Now, I got two things strongly off the first things. One's a group. I almost feel like one's like a writing group, actually. And the other one I feel like is a work situation. But I'm feeling like, well, if it's a group thing, like a writing group, does that make... Well, like, you communicate a lot. You have a lot to deal with this group. I feel like you're communicating a lot with this group. And you're just trying to handle it and move forward. But you're enjoying it. If that's what's happening, you're enjoying it. I feel like you're involved a lot, and there's a lot going on in this group. There's a lot of communication. Maybe that's why I'm getting a writing group, because I feel like you're a part of a lot of communication. Whatever you've gotten involved with, there's a lot you get to talk about, and I feel like you're enjoying it. There's a lot of different avenues to handle at once, a lot of different ways to look at things, and I feel like you're really loving it. To be honest, if this is hitting for you, I feel like you're involved in something that keeps you very active, keeps your mind going, helps you communicate with others, and you're very into it. But it takes up a lot of your time to the point where your partner's feeling left out. Like, they're feeling like this could be damaging to the relationship. It could end up, you know, in a negative ending here. They're worried. Now, I'm seeing the Magician on your partner's side, and I'm seeing the Sun card on your side, but it comes in tipped like that. I feel like your partner is communicating and trying to get more of your attention. And I feel like it's kind of disrupting. It's becoming a little disruptive for the situation you're involved with, but it's not derailing it. but you're noticing your partner's kind of competing with this other situation. And it's kind of like it's kind of like this, like almost like you're standing on shaky ground and you're trying to keep a footing, and you're standing and you're making it through it, but you're just kind of like, I don't know how long I can hold this together. Now, you hold this moment where you're having the sun card tipped on it's like a little like cockeyed here. It's just, I don't know how to say. It's not like this. It's like this. So it's still mostly upright, but it is kind of tipping a little bit. Like it's the situation with your partner, feeling a little left out, a little bit competitive. I feel like you like the attention, but I feel like you're starting to realize like your partner's trying to pull you away from this situation, and you're going forward and you're surviving doing both for a little while, but it doesn't go too long before you're like, you know what, this is wiping me out. I can't do both. I can't do both. Not to this level. Not to this level. So you're being like pulled in two different ways, and you're trying to decide like, now what am I gonna do? I don't feel like you really want to give up what you're doing. You really love it, but I don't feel like you want to give up your partner either. Because you come to this spot where you have the Page of Pentacles, and the way that Page of Pentacles is looking is like has something already established here that you want to keep, but then looking up at your partner like, but I don't want to lose that either. The Page here tells me that you're very tightly bound to both. You want to keep both, and it's becoming a stressful situation. You're trying to figure out, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? It's not even like, I feel like that's the point. Like, now what do I do? I want both. I can't keep going with both at this level. What do I do now? I feel like you're really kind of at a deadlock. It's not an easy answer for you, because it's like, is there a way to compromise? Do I really want to compromise? Do I have to give up one or the other? Is there another way to work this out? Is there a way I could keep both at this level and make it happen? It's just like you don't know what to do. It's like it's trying to figure out what to do at this point. You're just kind of stuck here at the spot where you love both situations. You love your partner, you love the situation you're involved in, and you don't really want to give up either. So it's a difficult moment. And I feel like you are getting a little pressure from your partner. Because when I see the Nine of Cups here on their side, like they're showing you all these possibilities with them, but I feel like they're kind of like pressuring you, like, you know what? I feel like they're pressuring you, like, spend more time with me. Stop doing that, and, you know, just stop doing that altogether. Just spend your time with me. I don't know if they're not understanding how much you like it, or if they just feel a little jealous of the attention that you're giving this other situation, but I feel like they're trying to pressure you to choose them over this other situation. Alright, so as we're going a little farther, I'm getting like your partner is very tightly bound to you. I'm getting that Four of Wands. Actually, the Four of Wands actually in this reading comes more straight up. The Knight of Wands, no, Knight of Swords is kind of over to the side on this one too. The two of these, the way they come in, I feel like your partner is very tightly bound to you, wants you in their life, wants to keep you, and the slightly askew Page of Swords might be using a little less than honorable tactics to try to keep you. Like, it might be pulling on your heartstrings, being a little manipulative to try to get what they want. They want you to stop doing this other situation, and they want you to pay more attention to them. That's what I'm getting. I got a face down oracle card here, which is there is a compromise, but it's face down, which tells me they don't want to really compromise. It's face down over this the Page of Swords. They don't want to compromise, but they can. They can. They don't want to. And it might take a bit of work to get them in that. That's why that's I feel like that's why that's face down. They're trying to get you to cut ties with that situation, but they are willing to compromise. They're Their first thought is like they want to try to get you out of it because they want you to themselves. This being face down, compromise face down, like this is how it comes into the reading. I'm feeling like they're willing to compromise, but they don't want you to know that. They're just seeing if first they can just get you to drop it. That's their first shot. They're gonna try first to see if they can get you to drop the situation. If they can't get you to drop the situation, then they will compromise. But first they're gonna try hard to get you to drop it. And I see the Eight of Cups on your side for the Page of Swords. They get you to seriously consider that. And you're looking at the situation like, can I keep both? And I feel like the way they're pushing it forward, it's making it harder and harder for you to see a way to keep both. And you'd really like to keep both. Now, there's face down cards over here, but there's two face up cards to start with. What seems to be moving the situation forward, your partner does this Ace of Wands, which is coming towards you very strong. They have a lot of ideas. I feel like they're doing something that I feel like they're starting something and they want you to be involved with it, but they're making it quite difficult for you to stay involved in this other situation. This Ace of Wands, excuse me, as this comes forward from your partner side, which this seems to be changing the situation. They want you involved in something, but it's going to take up a lot more of your time. It creates the Tower on your side because you're not going to be able to keep that other situation if you go forward with what they're proposing. And the way the two of these cards come in together, it feels like they're starting something, they're pulling you in on it, and the Tower happens for you because you have to resign from the other situation. And it's the Tower because you don't want to, you're kind of forced into it. Now, there's 3 cards face down, so what else do we have here? The Moon, the Queen of Pentacles, and the If You Believe. Now, I'm getting the Moon. I still feel like even at this part, even though you're not seeing it, you could keep both. You could still keep that situation you love going, along with doing what you want with your partner. But the Moon card there says that I feel like you're not seeing it at all. You're thinking that there's just like your partner's made the choice for you and you're just kind of stuck with it. You just kind of have to do what they want because they made this decision, they want you involved, they're going forward, and if you don't go forward with them, you're going to lose them. And you don't want to lose them, so you're feeling like you just kind of got forced into a decision and you're going forward with what they want. The Moon card tells me there is room for compromise here, like that compromise face down. Like there's still, even the way your partner's pushing this forward, that's again why I'm getting that Page of Swords askew a little bit. There's room for flexibility there, but they're not showing you that because they just want you to spend time with them. They're trying to pull you away from this other situation. You do have room for flexibility. You definitely do. The Moon card says if you press the issue, it'll come forward. But the If You Believe is also right here with this, which means you have to push it forward yourself. I was going to say physically, but it's more verbally. You have to push the issue to find that compromise. You have to push the issue back to your partner. So it's going to be dependent on you to make that happen. Whichever way you choose, if you choose to push back and try and push for that compromise, if you get that compromise, it will cement in for a while, for a good while. But if you don't push for that compromise, whatever this situation is, however you get involved with it to start, that will also stay for a while. So whichever way you go here, it's going to cement in for a little while, especially with the Queen of Pentacles. Because I feel like you're going to like whatever you end up with. Whether it's doing what your partner wants or staying involved with the situation you like and, balancing it out with your partner, what they want. Either way, whichever way you work it out, it seems like it's going to cement in for a while and you're going to be happy in the long run. I think the point is here that you can have both and be happy if you would like to. It's just going to take you pushing back to your partner and, kind of persisting to get what you want to make that happen. The Queen of Pentacles here, I feel like you're going to be happy because you're going to be spending time with your partner. So I don't feel like that's going to be a stress spot. It's just about, if you get what you want by making that compromise, you can. I feel like they're flat out saying you can compromise, you can push for that compromise, and have your cake and eat it too. I think that's the whole point of this reading. I am also noticing whether you do or you don't. It seems like you're happy either way in the long run. But if you really want to keep the situation that you're loving, there is a compromise that can be worked out with your partner. I just feel like they're not pushing that forward to begin with. All right. Okay, let me move into Gemini singles. Gemini singles are messages for Gemini singles. Empowering information that helps them move forward the way they would like. Enlightening information that helps them know anything they need to know so they can prepare if they need to, or help them make any changes they need to make. Really? We're done shuffling already? Alright. Let's move these over here. Sometimes it shocks me how quick the shuffle goes through. Alright, now I'm really not feeling like I want to put out Oracle cards, so you know what? I'm going to put them to the side, and if it comes back around after, we'll do it then, but I'm not really feeling a draw towards them. Now, what is going on here? It's weird because the first thing I'm popping into, the environment is the Sun card, and you got the world coming forward. Which the world is ending one phase and beginning a whole new phase, going into a new period of life, things like that. But that Sun card is being very happy and joyful and being very content, enjoying life, loving life. This is the environment. This seems to be bringing forth the world for you in the future, this new phase of life coming in for you. That being what it is, Alright, so I'm seeing more of this picture coming forward. I'm getting the change, like, what's leading into it is the strength with the Five of Wands. Like, and I know this is a general read for Gemini singles, but something is happening here where you're kind of weathering the storm, and there's some arguments and conflict here. I feel like either you're competing for somebody's attention or somebody's competing for yours, one of the two, and it's something it's becoming more of a stress than a pleasure. Even though you're weathering the storm with the Strength card, I feel like it's becoming more of a stress than a pleasure to deal with this situation. The person here, there is some history with this person. The question is, because I'm not really sure whether you're for or against this at this point. I feel like it depends on which way you're standing, because I am seeing the King of Swords here, so there definitely is, you're definitely communicating and you're telling how you feel. I'm just not getting if you're for or against this relationship to come into existence, but I know either way, if you're for it, it's not happening. The other person isn't conducive with that. If you're against it, the other person wants it to happen, and they're just kind of a little unrelenting with it. I feel like whichever way it's hitting for you, it's not working for you. But there is a history with this person. This has been going on, it feels like, for a while. This might even be an ex-lover. I feel like there's a good chance it's an ex-lover, to be honest with you. Now, the bottom of this is the Tower card. This situation, there's some history with it. I do feel it's probably an ex-lover. I mean, it's a general read, so not all the time, but probably. The Tower card, to me, tells me that, this situation is done. It's not moving forward, but something is happening, because the Three of Wands is at the top here. Something is going to move this on. This is coming to its climax. Whatever the situation is, whether you're for it or against it, whichever way you're falling, it's not going forward, but it's coming to its end. And it's moving forward. I'm getting another thing here where I see the Death card in your thoughts. More than likely, you want this to end. I am getting both sides of the coin again, though. Either you want it to end because you're sick of fighting for it and it's not happening, or you want it to end, you're sick of fighting against it. You just, either way, it's been drawing out for too long. Whether you're for it or against it, you're at the end of your rope. I feel like if it's something you want that's not happening, you're just like, you know what, I'm just, enough is enough. I realize this isn't going to happen, I'm moving on. Vice versa, though, if somebody's coming at you, and especially if it's an ex-lover trying to get back with you and you don't want that, you're about to make it very clear that that ship has not only sailed, it's sailed, and then you sunk it because you're done. And there's no more sailing with that ship. It's at the bottom of the sea. You're done. Like, that's it. I know that's harsh, but that's kind of what I'm feeling here. There's no ship to sail, so just stop. Stop coming at me with this. Now, the Sun card in your environment, like, I feel like that means that however you're moving this forward, however you're going into this next phase of life here with the world, it's going to work out for you. This ending is happening. You're making this ending happen. You see it coming. You feel like you've wasted enough time on it. It's not going to happen for whatever reason. You got the King of Swords in your favor. That's where you're standing. You're going to communicate for it or against it. You're putting an end to it. You're putting an end to this situation. You're done. Tower card. It's a little shocking for somebody, at least. It's an abrupt ending, but it's happening. The world happens. You move forward. You move on from this situation. I'm getting, especially with single Gemini, like you're dealing with something from the past that it needs to end. Because it's holding you back. It's holding you back, and you can't move into the next phase of life. You can't find somebody you want because this energy from the past is holding you back, and you need to let it go. It needs to be done. No matter how it's hitting, I feel like you're addressing it in the sense of like you're very well aware that this is taking up too much time, this is just binding your energy, it's got to go. So it is. The only thing I'm noticing here that's kind of interesting is the Eight of Cups at the end here. Because after the world happens, you have successfully ended this situation. The Sun card in the environment, everything is going your way. You want this to move on, it will move on. The Sun card, I really feel, is just kind of acknowledging, especially because it's in the environment. The environment is going along with what you want. You want it to end, it is ending. Now, I do want to say that it's going along in the sense of like it ending. It's not going, like if you want this relationship to start, I don't see it starting, but what I do see is like you want this situation to move on and to heal from it. The Sun card is saying we're on your side with that, we're making that happen, things are going very conducively in the environment to make that work out for you. The other person is out of the picture. After the world, after this phase, after this is over, you have the Eight of Cups. Because I feel like you're reevaluating it after the fact. And I feel like it's more in reference, almost like an audit, a self-audit. Like, how did that situation happen? Like, why did it go on the way it did? I feel like you're more looking back at it in the sense of, like, how do I make sure that doesn't happen again? That's why you're auditing it. That's why you're looking at it again. Because you're like, why did that even happen that way? Why did that drag on as long as it did? And how do we make sure that doesn't happen again? Because I don't want to end up finding somebody else where I repeat the same pattern. I don't want to do that pattern again. So there is an evaluation, a self-audit at the end here that you're taking because you want to move on from it. You don't want this to happen again. And I feel like this is very important because as you go into the next phase, there's certain things you got to keep an eye out for. Like, I feel like you're looking at this like, how did this relationship start? Like, how did this person end up in your life to begin with? And then how did it go to the next level? How did you end up romantically connected with this person? And then why did it end up, like, if you were interested and they weren't, how did it get to that point? Or if vice versa, like, how did it get to that point? You're just sorting it out and you're just trying to evaluate what to look for so you don't repeat it. I feel like that's the whole thing. This is just, it feels like a self-audit card, I have to be honest with you. And then once you've sorted that out, I feel like you'll be ready to go into the next situation. But until that's taken care of, until you're comfortable with that, I don't feel like the next one will come in, if that helps. All right, I think we're good with this. So let me wrap that up. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, James the number 4, astral at gmail.com. Thank you.